Welcome to Foundation Repair Marketing Secrets, the podcast that's rocking the foundation repair industry. Discover how to boost your leads, raise your profits, and lift your digital presence. Together, let's dig deep and transform your foundation repair business.
Alrighty, awesome. We have Josh today from a very, very snowy place. Welcome, Josh.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in Florida, if the shirt doesn't give it away. So I respect your ability to deal with the cold and the snow. I was going to say I'm a little cold down here today, but I can't rub it in like that.
Yeah, I think we're maybe a high of 10 degrees today, 5 right now.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. How does that affect the business? I know you guys, you're not just focused in your backyard, but does that make it very difficult in the line of work that you guys do?
Yes, absolutely. Weather plays a big part in what we do. We've got, we are focused on commercial deep foundation systems nationwide. So we're going from coast to coast. So, we weren't always that way. So just in the last 12 months, we've really expanded where our service area from a 4-state area of just Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, and Missouri. We've definitely expanded that, and that has allowed us to find jobs that maybe aren't affected by the polar vortex that we're dealing with right now. But regardless, it's certainly pushing jobs that for next week already that we thought, hey, they're going to be ready for us, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, now it's looking like the following week. So definitely dealing with issues when it comes to snow, but whether it's rain or any form of precipitation, that definitely pushes out our schedule. So
right. Yeah, it's funny the precipitation mentioned, because so many people in foundation waterproofing, especially when they're doing residential or commercial, obviously they love, it's like a rain dance. I've had clients say, like, bring it on. But obviously that has its difficulties too. When it's actively raining, good luck properly doing OSHA structure, digging ditches and putting guys in there and then putting some piers in the ground. It's kind of a weird, it's a great thing. You need the rain, but also, boy, does it make it tough to do the work.
Yeah. Yep. And obviously our guys, our crew leaders and the guys out there on, the boots on the ground, obviously they really would prefer not to be working outside in 5-degree weather. And, and on the converse, they'd prefer not to be working outside in 100-degree weather. So, So definitely, trying to accommodate when and where they work, more so than just the precipitation, but the outside temperature. Some, we do some inside work when it comes to some retrofit deals, but that's maybe a third of our business. The other 2/3, it's all new construction. So they're out in the cold, out in the elements. So
now, what attracted you to this business, to the model that you guys operate?
Yeah, as I looked at, and just for reference, Chayton, I own a number of other businesses, mostly construction focused. As I evaluate any business, for sale, there's a number of elements that come into play. One, the numbers need to make sense, which, that's the easier part, but then most importantly, it's evaluating the people, because essentially, anybody can go out and buy some skid steers and the drive heads and things like that. What we're paying for, what we acquire, is the group of employees that come with the business. And so it's all about evaluating and understanding the team and ensuring that we can set them up for success going forward.
Right. Yeah. When you set them up for success, they set you up for success. Everyone flourishes. Yes. How do you in this instance, did you acquire the business? It was already running, not
Correct.
from the ground up. Okay, got it. Can you maybe give us some insights for the audience who, let's say they have one location, let's say they're focused specifically in, let's say, Anaheim, California. How would they go looking about, in your instance, maybe acquiring, let's say, in Los Angeles, California? You mentioned the numbers. There's got to be a good group, good team. How else could a foundation waterproofing company think of acquisition if they're in that world?
Yeah, the good thing about it is I think we're easy to find. If you're in the space, you can figure out who is doing the work in those locations, just through some, I mean, whether it's Google searching and then reaching out to the owners to understand if if they're for sale, if they're looking to sell, or and vice versa. If you're a business that's thinking, hey, I'd like to get out, or I'd like to understand what what my business is worth. There's a lot of things that go into play and can sometimes takes years. And a lot of it is cleaning up of the financials, ensuring that you've got accurate year over year data, and making sure that you're tracking, as a business owner, what you might be putting through for expenses that might be more related to you personally versus actual expenses to run the business. So
Mm,
so there's a lot of that definitely goes into play. But on top of that, the other important thing that I look at, because um, with any acquisition that I look at, I want to ensure that there's a solid core management team uh, that's in place to where the business can run without the previous owner being involved.
mm,
So
okay.
you almost have to. It can be a little scary, but you have to do the best that you can to kind of work yourself out of a job if you are looking to sell a business. Acquisition the other way, can be a little different, but typically that owner may be the GM of this second location that you might be looking to acquire. Well, you've got to figure out, okay, if that owner exits, who's stepping into that position? Is it you as the owner, or is there a right hand person from that acquisition that can step up?
Okay, awesome. And I guess in that example, while we're talking about it, you're able to work without offices all throughout the country. It's my understanding. You guys can kind of have the central focus, remotely operate really, really effectively. So in that example, maybe instead of them being in Anaheim and saying we got to purchase an existing business in LA, how could they be more of your model where they could say we're great in Anaheim, let's just expand territory to LA?
Yep. Now, well, I'll tell you. I mean, our space is different. We're working purely on the commercial side of things.
Hmm.
Obviously, the way we market, I mean, compared to a local residential company, you're marketing to households versus
Right.
marketing to the general. We're attempting to get in front of the general contractors. We're trying to get on bid lists, and there obviously is a much longer sales cycle and that side of things. But when I originally acquired the business, we had two locations, Omaha and Kansas City, and we were just serving the four-state area. We've since moved to being a lot more mobile, still having just the two locations, but being able to mobilize. We've moved away from the freight liners that we have,
Okay.
and with heavy over the road machinery and hauling all of our equipment out to locations. We're buying lighter weight flatbed trucks, a light, the lightest weight trailer that we can, and
Mm,
we're loading up our drive heads, and we're drop shipping all of the materials we need. We're renting the skid steer or other equipment that we need, and trying to be as efficient as we can with just having the job site ready and with all of our materials and equipment and machinery rented. It's there whenever we arrive in the middle of nowhere, Arizona, as a phrase. So
That's awesome. Okay. So two things we could touch on that are real fun is how important and how do you operationalize two things, sales and marketing. So we could touch on sales real quickly. How have you seen, I notice you have, people in business development and things. How do you guys operate that and how important is that in your business?
It's crucial from a sales perspective. Again, going back to the acquisition, when we originally acquired the company, we had two sales people, one in Omaha, one in Kansas. Since then, we've added an individual out of St. Louis, one in Oklahoma City, and two out of the Houston area as well.
Okay.
So our sales, and we continue to look for additional salespeople to help expand our reach. We'd love to find someone close, more in the southeast side of the space, and really, from my perspective, we have hired all experienced hires, so they're all coming in with 10, 20, 30 years of experience in the foundation space. They've seen it all from a commercial perspective. So me coming into this space with zero experience in that, in the deep foundation space, I need to hire experienced guys that know what they're doing, because I certainly can't train them in the space. So finding the right people, empowering them to win the bids that they go after. That's been my focus. Our guys are very good. Again, when they've got 20 plus years of experience, they certainly have a network of individuals and contractors that they worked with in the past, and they're working to get us on those bid lists. In addition to that, there's certainly paid sites that I know that they're leveraging to be made aware of jobs that might be out on the streets. So I think Deltec has a few different spaces where they're tracking a lot of the jobs nationwide from a commercial perspective that they're hearing about and just contacting to get a bid to them.
Okay. And the marketing side of things, I'd love to know, obviously your sales team, your sales force are marketers as well as sales. Is there anything that you guys are doing on the marketing side pretty consistently, or things that you thought, oh, we'll give it a shot, didn't work out well?
We're definitely ramping up more of that. I mean, they're getting involved in a lot of, again, with our guys being spread out a little bit, they're certainly getting involved in different organizations and going to different shows where we have a booth and can talk to general contractors that may need our help in certain jobs. They're also, so the focus is not just on the general contractor side, but we're getting in front of geotechnical engineering firms whenever possible as well. So offering up, oftentimes we're heading out to these engineering firms, and we offer up somewhat of a lunch and learn to explain to them, explain to these geotechnical engineers what types of services we provide, and where helical piles may come in handy, or grouted micropiles may be an option, or better option, or a cheaper option than some of the other options that they may be looking at or evaluating. So
cool.
Outside of that, we are just getting around to investment in SEO and some of the more the online stuff, to make sure that if a contractor is Googling, grouted micropiles or low density cellular concrete, that our name may pop up. But that's a slow burn, and we're playing around with that as we speak.
Cool. Awesome. Love that. Yeah, makes sense. A lot of it sounds like it's very boots on the ground, hand-to-hand combat, but also that digital aspect. I had a talk with someone just yesterday, and they were mentioning kind of, when you have boots on the ground, hand to hand, it's first impression. And the second impression is the online space. So that's great that you guys are focusing on the primary, but also looking at that secondary. Very, very interesting. With your accounting wisdom and business acquisitions, your skills there, what are some things that maybe people should prioritize better financially in the business, and some things that people maybe overlook?
Yeah, obvious. I mean, in our space, there is definitely a lot of ebb and flow, and uh, when I first came in, I noticed that a lot of our competition, in fact, the business that I acquired, wasn't even asking for deposits of any sort. And so I found that deposits are a big help. And then in addition to that, asking for, basically stating in the proposals that, I mean, once material is procured, they pay for that as well. So if a job does get pushed back a month or two, at least we're not sitting on the materials that we've had to pay for, and have to pay interest on, through a line of credit or whatever the case may be, where we've got our customer having paid for it. So it starts with the proposal and ensuring that we're requesting money as early and often as we possibly can. I found that's mission critical there. Outside of that, it really, I mean, it is all about making sure that you're not spending every dollar that comes in the door. You've got to keep some powder dry, if you will, for those crunch times. I mean, as a business owner, there aren't many business owners that haven't worried about, oh gosh, how am I going to make payroll, next, whatever the case is. So making sure that you've always got some money free and available, so that you can sleep well at night.
Yeah, it's nice to go all in.
Yeah.
And there's so many gurus and people like that out there. It's all in. If you got $100,000, that's nothing. Like, you might as well use it to grow the business. And it's like, wait. Like, I hear that to an extent, but like, there is payroll, there is cost of goods, there is, all these different things, these efforts that you guys have. So that's pretty reasonable. Set aside some money. You're going all in anyway by being a business owner. It doesn't mean you got to put all the chips on the table, right? You're already in the casino. This casino, it's business ownership. I don't know. I think sometimes the casino has better odds. Just being around the clients that we've been around, we've seen them go through acquisitions. We've seen them, come and go. And especially with the modern age, how is that affecting your business? Because, obviously what you guys do has been around for a long time. Are you seeing that technology and the internet or anything? I don't want to say artificial intelligence is necessarily anything super relevant for you guys, but how do you see the current world in your business and how the future is going to possibly shape it?
Yeah. It's hard to say. I would tell you that, I mean, when we talk about AI and some of those things, that has certainly been helpful, and we've been able to utilize it in terms of, adding in maybe some more legal verbiage into our proposals before we send out.
Cool.
Okay. And leveraging that in terms of, I mean, just other general legal documents that we may just need from a business perspective. The outside of that, we're definitely leveraging that to create job descriptions and things like that, or advertisements when we need to hire someone. Utilizing AI has helped with a lot of those areas. With regard to other changes from a technological perspective, you mentioned, I mean, the hand-to-hand combat. I don't know that in the next for the foreseeable future, the next 10, 20 years, I don't know that we'll ever be able to just completely get away with that. There's always going to need to be that human interaction and that relationship building to get these contractors to trust us and want to work with us. And I, this the salesman of yesterday is still going to be a crucial component to every business going forward. We won't get away from that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And especially with yours being very business to business, commercial, it certainly is about relationships a little bit more than like the residential aspect where it's, you have one particular resident, odds are there's not going to be residual or referral deals through them.
Yes.
Maybe, definitely a possibility. Is that something you guys see quite a lot of in your business? Is there a lot of, I guess, repeat business through those relationships that you guys gather?
More or less, yes. There's a number of general contractors that continue to utilize us or ask us to bid. They contact us now that, day one for anybody that's getting into commercial, deep foundation systems, that's not going to happen. They're not going to be just getting the calls. It comes through years. And the good thing, I mean, the business that I acquired had been around for 20 plus years. So we continue to get the calls locally in Omaha and Kansas City, but are we getting those calls in St. Louis or other locations? No, not until our sales guys are going out there and getting our name out there, so that the repeat business does continue to come.
Was there anything else that you guys wanted to share or let people know about the business, and then we can kind of let everyone know how to reach out to you guys?
Yeah, Chayton, I mean, we do continue to grow and expand, and we are continuing to look at adding additional sales project managers, and we're constantly looking for crew foremen. Our business model is changing a little. With us moving from coast to coast, we're now pivoting and looking at, rather than hiring, the typical ditch diggers that can just help with some of that stuff, we are hiring high level crew leaders or foremen, if you will, that are willing to travel coast to coast, 80+% of the time. And then we leverage temp labor at the location that we get to. So,
okay.
I mean, we're continuing to expand and grow, and the business is coming to us quicker than we can handle. So definitely
good.
Continuing to add to staff, both on the operational side as well as the sales side of things.
That's cool. It's a quality problem.
Yes.
The
Yep.
problem everyone wants. Okay,
Yes.
awesome. Well, great. If you want to share how people could reach out to you, or maybe who's ideal to reach out to you and how they can do that to contact your team, feel free to let them know.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Email is probably going to be best. It's Josh, JOSH at geosupport.us. It's GEOSUPPORT.us.
Okay, awesome. And who should be, I know you've kind of referenced it before, but who's the ideal person to reach out to you guys? What are they looking to accomplish? What's their title?
Yeah, I mean, anybody that has an interest in or maybe intrigued by what we do, and maybe looking to make a move. Again, sales, project management, or hey, I want to be a crew leader. I want to be that foreman, and I'm willing to. I want to see the U.S.
Yeah, and get paid while doing it.
Get paid while doing it. We'll set you up in your own hotel room every night, and get to explore all four corners of the U.S. So
awesome, cool. All right, well, we're gonna sign off. Josh, you and I are gonna hang out on the podcast, but we are signing off, guys. Thank you for hearing out this episode, and look forward to catching you guys on the next episode.
Thanks, everyone.
See you guys.
Thanks for joining us today for another revealing episode of Foundation Repair Marketing Secrets. Don't forget to subscribe so you can keep discovering the tools, tactics, and techniques to ensure your online presence is as solid as the foundations you repair. Keep digging deep, and we'll see you in the next episode.